I live in a quiet town in New York, alone with my yellow lab, Dusty, in a large, two-level home sitting on 2 acres of land surrounded by a lot of trees. My nearest neighbor is about a half-mile away, but because I am a loner and an introvert, I barely know them. If I ever need a hand with anything, I am definitely out of luck. So it was 5 p.m. on a cold October night. I was preparing dinner for myself. I have the TV on the news to keep me distracted in my loneliness, and as usual, all bad news going on in the world. As I sit to eat, I hear a knock on the door. Who could be at my door? I never get visitors. So I hesitantly walk to the door to see who it is. Dusty barked a few times like she normally does at outdoor sounds and knocks. Can I come in? I need help. I need to call my parents. Dusty started to growl now. Dusty, relax. It's just a child at the door. I look through the peephole and see a young girl standing there on my porch. It is dark outside and all I can see is her long black hair. She is wearing a hooded sweater and pants, and I cannot see her face. What is wrong? Why do you need help? Are you alone? Yes. Can I come in? I need help. I need to call my parents. I am scared. Now Dusty's really growling and barking. I started getting this bad feeling in my gut, a feeling of dread. She has no inflection in her voice. She doesn't sound upset or scared. I don't know if I should let her in. I mean, she is young. She's just a kid. What could she do if I let her in? What if she really does need help? I don't want to ignore her. So I decided to let her in. Come on in, honey. My phone is over there on my computer desk. So she walked in, and I see her face. Her eyes. Her eyes were all black, jet black. I have never seen that before. Now I think I should have listened to my gut feeling, but now it is too late. She is inside my house. Dusty ran into the kitchen under the table, sounding frightened. With my voice quivering, I ask her what her name is, and she doesn't answer me. She didn't walk to the phone either. I told her again, the phone is on my computer desk. If you need to call your parents, go ahead. As she is just standing there, intensely staring at me, I start to feel sick. A terrible headache comes on. I have to sit down, and I ask her again, who are you? What do you want? Then my power goes out. I look around and the room starts spinning. What is happening? I tell her that she needs to leave. Just please, go. She then said, my parents are outside, and walks out the front door. I looked out the living room window and see a tall man standing at the end of the driveway. All I see is a silhouette of a man in a suit and a hat. Then they get in the car and drive away. The power comes back on. Dusty is still hiding under the table in the kitchen, just whimpering. I don't understand what happened. Who was this girl? What did she want? I tried desperately to get this experience out of my head and just eat dinner, but I have no appetite. So I decided to go lay down and bring Dusty with me. My head is still pounding. I take multiple headache medications, but no luck. I finally fell asleep, and thankfully when I woke up the next day, I felt better and Dusty is back to herself. I now know if anyone knocks on my door, even a child, I am not letting them in. My 10-year-old daughter Kaylee and I were going for a nice walk through the forest on a brisk October morning. We were listening to the birds chirping, watching the squirrels running up trees, and smelling the autumn leaves. It was so relaxing. There was nobody around, and it was so peaceful and quiet. We were just talking about how well school was going for her. She had good grades, friends she played Roblox with, and had a field trip to the local museum coming up next week. As we were talking and walking, we heard a child scream. It sounded pretty close, too. We both jumped and looked at each other in shock. Where did this kid come from? We didn't see anybody around. Who was that? Do you think she's hurt? Kaylee asked. I told her, well, maybe we should take a look around. Hopefully her parents are close by and they can take her home. Okay, I'm scared. Can you go check and I stay here? Kaylee asked. Okay, do not move from this spot. I will take a quick look and be right back. So I walked around a little bit to see if I could see a child in trouble. Thankfully, the forest was pretty open, so I was able to see through the trees and along the trails. There she was, standing on the trail alone. She was covering her eyes, weeping. She really did sound like a child who was scared or hurt. I asked her, "Are you okay? Where are your parents?" She just shook her head, crying and still covering her eyes with her hands. "What is your name? What is wrong?" I asked her. Slowly, she lowered her hands from her eyes, and what I saw scared the hell out of me. All I saw was total blackness in her eyes. I did not see any whites in her eyes at all. The feeling of terror just overtook me. I could feel my heart hammering out of my chest. I just felt frozen. I could not even turn to run away. "Can you help me?" she asked. I could not answer her. I was just staring into her dark, cold eyes. Then I heard Kaylee calling for me, and that snapped me out of this frozen stance I had. Sounding irritated and impatient, the girl asked again, "Can you help me?" I could not even talk. I just turned and ran back to Kaylee and quickly grabbed her hand. And when I turned back to look at the girl, she was gone. Where the hell did she go? I asked myself. I didn't want to find out, so we ran to the car and got out of there. I've never experienced something like this. I don't know who or what that thing was, and I hope to never find out.